welcome back for Chapter 6, Measurement and Geometry, Lesson 4 on spheres. So a sphere, that is a set of points in a three dimensions that are a fixed distance from the center. So this is a sphere. This is the center, and all of the points around in three dimensions are an equal distance away from this point, and that's what forms a sphere. So that is called the center right here. Right there, that's called the center. And then the radius of the sphere is right here. That is the radius. Okay. So that is a sphere. A hemisphere. A hemisphere is a plane intersects a sphere through the center, dividing it into two halves. So this here is a hemisphere. And you can see it's almost like it just got cut right in the half of the sphere. The sphere got cut in half, leaving us with a hemisphere. Lastly, we have the great circle. And the great circle is the edge of the hemisphere. So the distance around, right here, the hemisphere is called the great circle, and that would be the circumference. So the great circle is the same thing as the circumference of the hemisphere. Okay, so the volume of a sphere, the volume V of a sphere is 3/4 pi times the cube of the radius cubed. Okay, so that's this right here. Okay, so this is the volume. So volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. So let's look at this sphere right here. And we have our formula here. It says the radius is 3 right there. So they stick 3 in for the radius. And it's cubed. So then they went 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And if it were me at that point, okay, I'll tell you what I would have done. Okay, so if we have volume equals 4/3 pi, and 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, I would have multiplied these and cross-canceled, right? They have a common factor of 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 27 9 times, and then we just go 4 times 9, which is 36 pi, which is the same thing they got here, but they just multiplied it 27 times 4, made it really big, and then did the division and then got to 36. So I always like to have my numbers cross cancel as much as I can and keep the numbers small because it's just easier to work with, and it's I can do it pretty quickly in my head without having to do extra math. So anyways, 36 times pi, 3.14, ends up being 113.1 units cubed. And so that's how you calculate the volume. So let's go ahead and try this on a couple different examples. Okay, so this first one here, we're going to be finding the volume of a sphere. It says find the volume of a sphere with radius 12 centimeters cubed, both in terms of pi and to the nearest tenth. Use 3.14 for pi. Okay, so the volume formula for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. The radius is 12. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute that in. 12 cubed. So here I know 12 squared is 12 times 12 is 144. So we're going to have to go 144 times 12. That would be 2 times 4, which would be 8. 2 times 4, which is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And we're in 10 spots, so we put a 0 in the 1 spot. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Then we add 8 plus 0 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7, and then 1. So this ends up being 4/3 pi times 1,728. Now I'm going to see if this is divisible by 3 by adding up the digits. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 8 is 16, and 18. It's 18, and 18 is divisible by 3, which means this whole number is divisible by 3. So I'm going to take this number, 1,028, and divide it by 3. 3 doesn't go into 1, but it goes into 17 5 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 17 take away 15 is 2. We drop the 2 down. 3 goes into 22 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. We subtract and get 1 and drop down an 8. 3 goes into 18 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, so we end up with volume equaling 4 pi times, because 3 goes into 3 one time and 3 goes into 1,728, 576 times. So now we just need to take 576 and multiply it by 4. And do that over here. 4 times 6 is 24, write the 4, carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 is 30, write the 0, carry the 3. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 is 23. Yeah, and there we go. So this is our answer in terms of pi, all right? But we need to round it to the nearest tenth, so that means I'm going to have to take this number here and multiply it by 3.14. Okay, I think I'm going to get a different color. So 2,304 times 3.14. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. Write the 6, carry the 1. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 4 times 3 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And now we move on to the 1 spot. 1 in the 10 spot. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2, and then the hundreds. So we put a 0 in the ones and the tens. 3 times 4 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 2 is 6. And now we add. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 4 is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Write the 3, carry the 1. 9 plus, I always like to try like 10 to find like groups of 10, right? So 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Just makes it easier and quicker for me. Write the 2, carry the 1, and then 1 plus 6 is 7. Whew, that was a lot. All right, so we have 2 decimal places, so we have 2 decimal places here. What does it say? Round to the nearest tenth. So we look here, this is the tenth. We look at the hundreds rounds this up because it's over 5. So we would end up with an answer. The volume equals 7,234.6 centimeters cubed. And there are both of our answers in terms of pi and also round to the nearest tenth. Okay, it is your turn, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to go ahead and try B. Here's my friend the pause dragon, reminding you to pause your device. Go ahead and work this problem out. When you get done, press play and we'll talk about it together. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, let's see how you did. So, it says find the volume of a sphere with radius 10 feet, both in terms of pi and to the nearest tenth. Use 3.14 for pi. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and write down that formula for the volume of a sphere. And we know that the radius is equal to 10. So we're going to substitute that in. And it's going to be 10 cubed, which is the same thing as 10 times 10 times 10, which is 10 times, that would be 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then we just need to multiply that by 4, and we would get 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. And I don't know if that's divisible by 3 evenly. Well, 4 plus 0 is just 4, and 4, it wouldn't be divisible by 3. So we'll just go ahead and multiply it by pi, which is 3.14. So I'll do that right here. 4,000 times 3.14. That would be 0, 0, 0, 16, and then 0, and then we got 3 more zeros, 0, 0, 0. 1 times 4 is 4. Then we get to the hundreds place, so that's in the ones and the tens, and then we go 3 zeros again. 1, 2, 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Then we just add it all up. So that would be 0, that would be 0, that would be 0, that would be 6. 1 plus 4 is 5, and then 2, 1. And we have 2 decimal places. So that would be that. All right, so we have the volume equaling 12,560 divided by 3. And then we just need to figure out what that is divided by 3. Oh, I was supposed to find it in terms of pi, wasn't I, first? Well, that's okay. We can backtrack and figure that out. Okay, so I'm going to go 12560 divided by 3. 3 goes in, doesn't go into 1, but it goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12, no remainder. Drop down the 5. 3 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 take away 3 is 2. We drop the 6 down. 3 goes into 26 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24. 26 minus 24 is 2. We drop the 0 down. 3 goes into 26 times. 6 times 3 is 18. And 20 take away 18 is 2. And then we would drop the 0 down again. And then it would go in 6. It looks like it repeats there. So that means, what does it say, to the nearest tenth? So this would be a 6. This would be a 6. This 6 would round that up to a 7. So that means that the volume equals 4,186.7 feet, where the units are feet cubed. And then we just need to have our answer in terms of pi. So I think that I would just keep it as 4,000 thirds pi. I think that would be, because we had it back here in 1,000 times 4 is 4,000 divided by 3, and then we put that in for pi. So this would be in terms of pi. This is an exact answer. The point of having it in terms of pi would be an exact answer. 4,000 does not go into 3 evenly, so the answer that we would be given with would be an approximate answer, not an exact. So for that exact answer, we're just going to leave it here. Now, if 4,000 happened to be divisible by 3, then we would simplify that, but it's not. If we go 4 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, you get 4. 4 is not divisible by 3, so that means 4,000 is not divisible by 3. So these are our answers in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest tenth. So if you got that one right, great job, and I'll see you in a little bit for the next example.